I've had the pleasure of owning and operating a retail independent pharmacy for the past 25 years. It's actually amazing for me to be standing up here because 3 years ago, I did not know what a CRM program was. I know. But I lied about it and I pretend like I did. So 3 years ago, we started our onboarding process and I got connected with Jason Benedict, an automation agency. And it's been an absolute blast. It's revolutionized our business. It's completely changed my life forever. And I have to share a funny story. During the onboarding process, he asked us the question. Jason Benedict asked me this question. He said, how many patients do you have at your pharmacy? I had no idea. But I wasn't going to admit it. I was embarrassed. So I threw out a number. I said, we have 1,000. Well, come to find out, it was actually 5,000. But the second question was a question of all questions. He asked me, of those 1,000 patients that you have, how many emails do you have for those patients? And I said, our patient demographics is late 60s. We don't do emails. And for those of you that know Jason, I've never heard him silent in my life. For about 5 seconds, there was a dead silence on the other end. And he finally said, don't worry about it. We'll work through it. In 3 years, we now have 8,000 contacts and almost 6,000 emails. All through Keap, all with the help of Jason Benedict, an automation agency, and a grinding on our part, we made it happen. So thank you.
What's great about Amit too is he's such a humble guy, and he's been the guy who is coachable, and he's someone that's innovative in his approach to doing things, and that's what I've loved about Amit. And one of the stories that I wanted us to step up here and share today too is Amit is competing with the big box retailers like CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, and he is crushing what they're doing. So what's the population of your city right now?
So the town I'm in is Yucca Valley, California, and the population is 20,000. And so we have 8,000 of our patients in that database, so we're almost 50% of the entire city's population.
So CVS actually tried to approach Amit to buy his business, and Amit, they went through the process of assessing him and learning about his business. And at the end of it, they basically decided that they couldn't handle the volume of patients that Amit was doing as an independent pharmacy in his local city. So that says something about what Keap does from an automation perspective to help support him in the growth of his business. But more than that, I think why they declined it is they couldn't keep up with the level of engagement and care and relationship that Amit has been building with each of his patients. And that's what gets me excited about Keap every day. And so I'd love for Amit to share some more. He's had so many good stories about how he's engaged his patients. And so go ahead.
And along that lines, I'd love to share that conversation. It was a retail chain. They approached us, and I was trying to figure out the valuation of our business. And when they mentioned this to me, we can't onboard your pharmacy, it's too large. And I said, but I have this amazing CRM platform that I can share with you guys. And they said, no, we have no interest in that platform. And I said, what do you mean you have no interest in that platform? You have no interest in engaging with patients? Oh, no, we don't do that. And that right there said it all. And I said to myself, wow, we are on to something here. Because if you have no interest in engaging with patients, then we have no interest in engaging with you, plain and simply.
One of the really unique and exciting things that we first did for Amit when we started working with his business is we did a deep dive assessment. And a lot of you who know the automation agency and how we operate, we don't just skim the surface. Like we like to go deep and really understand the customer, their challenges, their pain points, and then provide them with quick wins and solutions that can help them. And so Amit has right next door to his pharmacy an urgent care, right? And so he has foot traffic constantly coming in. So I hear Amit has no emails, but he has constant foot traffic. So the first thing we decided to do was set up 2 tablets. So now every patient that comes in now checks in and receives an email, a text message, a welcome. We know when their last check-in date. So when they don't show up for 90 days, they get an email that sends them, hey, we miss you. They get a happy birthday reminder. So basically, Amit now knows every customer that walks through his door is now going to be nurtured and followed up with. So Amit, share more about some of the amazing feedback you've got from your customers.
Yeah, so Jason Benedict has created a Minute with Amit. We've coined it. It's an informational, a minute we give out content whether it's morning routines or wellness or something that's very helpful. We sort of coined that. So when patients come in the pharmacy now, they go, wait, are you the minute with Amit? And not realizing how many emails we sent out to these patients is just unbelievable. And the content we're able to provide for them, especially the happy birthdays. We have some patients, we have 90 years old, some individuals that are older that they come and tell us, I've not been wished in 4 years for my birthday. You're the first person in 4 years that's wished us. And they call in tears. And it's just so many stories like this that we're able to reach through engagement. It's truly unbelievable. And just to hear those stories, that's really what it's all about for us.
Yeah, so we've actually implemented lifecycle automation across his entire business. So we didn't just start with lead gen. We solved that problem. We said, okay, we solved that. Now let's go to the next thing. So then we started looking at his book of business and looking at his avatars, right? And seeing, okay, hey, you've got certain patients that come in regular. You've got patients that are kind of sporadic. You've got patients that need certain medications. And so what we started doing was segmenting, obviously through the use of tagging, and really helping to identify what are the 5 key metrics that we can focus on to pull the lever to make sure that he's consistently growing. And so now we have that, and we've been utilizing that data and that information through Keap to re-engage past patients when they stopped coming in or they didn't refill their medication. So there's a lot that has gone into it. And what's funny too is if you were to Google Avalon Yucca Valley Pharmacy, you'd see probably close to about 500 reviews. And his competitors like Walgreens, CVS, et cetera, has 15 to 12. So because we've implemented the use of reputation marketing and capturing that feedback and reviews, it's helped him to grow his reputation. And as he mentioned, the Minute with Amit, the weekly videos that he does, has really engaged his patients in more ways. So I'd love for you to speak a little bit more about that.
Yeah, along that lines also, and I wanted to mention is the issue we're having now is I can't get away from Keap. So instead of doing my work now, I want to keep all the time sending emails, having fun with this, and we're getting backed up here. And a lot of my staff are like, okay, why don't you get back to it? And I'm thinking this is what I really enjoy, this process of just setting up that. But even with the Minute with Amit and all these little stuff that we've been doing, not realizing how we're growing, and it's just amazing. And JB, we can talk about revenue a little bit too, when it's done.
Yeah, absolutely. So when Amit got started with Keap, he started when COVID just happened, right? This is when businesses are shutting down, doctors' offices are shutting down, people are afraid to go out of their home and go get their medications because they're afraid to get COVID. Well, because we implemented Keap and lifecycle automation, what we recognized soon after that is when he started talking with some of the other pharmacies that he's connected to, we recognized that they were dropping about 30 to 35% in revenue. But because we had implemented automation into his business, he had only seen about a 10 to 15% drop. So we slowed the burn for him from losing his customers and not engaging patients. And so we reversed that with his Minute with Amit videos by sending out weekly newsletters and text messages to them with tips and videos. So Amit would share stuff about, COVID and other things that they can do to be protected and keep themselves safe. So it just goes to show, show of hands, how many of you have ever heard from your pharmacist what he is doing? No one. Amit is literally becoming an innovator and an influencer in his space, and he just realized this today. Carmen was like, Amit, you're an influencer. It's so we are literally now starting to think about planning and helping Amit, because one of his passions that he realized is he now has the free time to focus on other passions in his life. And now he wants to do more public speaking and more engagement. And that's why I invited him to join me today, because Amit is an amazing person, for one, and he is an avid fan and lover of Keap. So,
and I do want to say thank you to Keap, and thank you for the partnership with Jason Bennett and Automation Agency. It's been an unbelievable relationship, and it's just been fantastic and growing. And just for me to be here today is surreal, just to see this beautiful facilities and the people and the culture. It really, from my end and from the outside, I only know customer support. So now that I get to see product managers, I get to see what goes on behind the scenes. We never really realized what goes on behind the scenes, so I can say that for myself now. It's pretty amazing to see all of you here and what really goes on behind the scenes and what product comes out of it, because I'm a Keap lover. And I shared this story about we have a 16-year-old son, and he does a lot of charity work. So he does charity work with pickleball tournaments, and he donates to Cancer Society. And he asked me, I know just by hearing in the background, he says, "Dad, I want to set up a CRM program." And of course, he wants to set up Keap. And I was going to laugh at him. I said, "Well, let's talk about, campaign. Let's build some campaigns for you." He's like, "Okay, relax, Dad. I just want to get on the program first." But it's just really cool to see what he hears and what he sees. And he's loving every part of it and the ramifications as they go on down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, we just have so much love and gratitude and appreciation for all of you. Like, I know you deal with a lot of not success stories, right? You've got the hardships, the challenges, you've got, families and things that you have to juggle, but you are making such an impact for partners like myself. You're making an impact for customers like Amit. The partner program through KCOP has transformed our ability to coach and align and provide services to companies like Amit. So, I mean, across the board, we are avid fans. We love Keap. We appreciate all of you, and just keep going.